Hey you, welcome. I'm so happy you are here. So, a few of you have been asking about a redo of the What's on My iPhone video, and since not a lot has changed since then, because I'm still using the iPhone 12 Pro as my private phone, I figured let's do a What's on My iPad, because I really haven't shown you how I'm using my iPad, what kinds of apps I'm using, and so on yet. So let's dive into that today. I'm taking you with me into the depths of my iPad and how I have set it up, how I'm using it, what kinds of apps I'm using, and so on. So here it is, in this dark green case that I'm using to protect it from scratches or bumps, whatever could cause damage really. And here on top, or on the side, depends which way you're using the iPad, is the Apple Pencil. The second generation of the Apple Pencil that can be charged wireless on the side here. And it has this magnetic connection to the iPad, which is very convenient, to be honest. I've seen the people who use the first generation of the Apple Pencil, and I'm always amazed by their ability to not freak out since you have to put it in here where I think in other cases lightning connector is at the iPad. But this iPad Air, if you might noticed, if you know a little bit more about iPads, this is an iPad Air, and this one comes already with a USB-C charging outlet. This is an original Apple case, as you can see here on the back. I hope you can see the Apple logo that's imprinted here. Or embedded, not really sure. It's kind of slightly raised, the outside. And I really like this case because it's very practical and kind of high quality. I've had that for roughly years, going on 2 years now, and it's still pretty good in shape for all the times I'm using that on the road, putting it in and out of my backpack. So I'm very happy with that. I would say I'm someone who has a tendency to be a little bit more careful with these kinds of products, so I don't just like throw it in somewhere without thinking. But I also wouldn't say I'm using it or handling it like a raw egg. No, definitely not. So pretty happy with the quality of that case. And you can fold it like this to like 3 pieces, as you can see. And you can create a triangle shape on the back, and voila. The iPad has like an inbuilt stand with this, which is pretty cool. Et voila. And this is the inside. So as you can see, my starting screen when opening the iPad via Touch ID here, so like this, is also coming with some widgets. I really love the widget features that came with the new iOS or iPadOS update. It's been a while now, but I'm always very, very happy that you can finally use that on iOS or iPadOS in that case. So let's dive in. What do I have on my iPad Air? So basically, first of all, the way I kind of use my iPad is that I have a strict policy that nothing social has to be on here. And for social, I mean social apps like Instagram or messengers, this kind of thing. So I don't want this device to be a communicator to the outside rather than my little creative area, or maybe creative and mindfulness area, because I leave my phone outside my bedroom by night because I don't want to have myself scrolling by the end of the day or first thing in the morning. So I just banned my phone from the bedroom. It's been a good 2 years, so over 2 years now, I think I've done this kind of setup, and it's working pretty good. So in case I take my iPad as my alarm clock in the morning, otherwise yeah, I need something definitely. And this is also then the reason why I don't have any social apps on here. But I do have apps, and this is also why this is the first one to come up here, for sleeping and for calming down, for being creative, these kinds of things. Oops. And this is why this first one over here is called Sleep Cycle. This is just a kind of app that I use as my alarm clock in the morning, because you have the ability to track your sleeping cycle, the quality of your sleep, the length of your sleep. It will record sounds like snoring and stuff like that, so that's sometimes pretty funny. And it also has this kind of wake up window that you can set up in the app. So let's say latest I want to get out of bed in the morning is 7:30. Then I will set that up, and my wake up window is then from 7 to 7:30. And the app is somehow kind of like using the best timing for you to wake up to start the alarm. And I'm actually not so sure if that's like really accurate, but I have made the observation that I wake up not as tired anymore, if that makes any sense. It's gotten a lot better. Yeah, I would definitely say so than before. So definitely recommend this app if you have troubles with getting up in the morning. Alright, so that's it for app number 1. I'm not going to go through every one in detail, but maybe more the ones that I use more excessively, or the ones that are more important or maybe not as clear as others. So the next one is the Kindle app. I think that one is pretty obvious. I like to read before bed, and sometimes when I have books bought on my Kindle app, I'll just use the iPad as my reading device. I do have like a very old Kindle, but it's one of those that don't have light built in, so sometimes the iPad option is definitely better. Next up is Blinkist, and I'm not really sure if you are familiar with the concept of that app. But basically it's also kind of like a book app, but you get the essentials and the most important aspects of a book in like a compressed kind of way. So let's say you can kind of read or hear, because they have two options. You can read a book, or you can listen to the summary of it in like 15 minutes, 15, 20, sometimes it's 30, depends on the book really. But that's actually pretty cool, especially for these kinds of books where you are like, oh well, I kind of want to know what it's about, but I kind of also don't want to dive in completely. This is where Blinkist is really helping a lot. It has a lot of like knowledge books, so it's not so much fiction as more knowledge. Sorry. I keep opening the Procreate app because I have this huge widget over here. And here you can also see that I designed the background that I have for my iPad. here in this app. It's very simple, it's nothing special, but I was searching for some very specific colors and couldn't find it online. So I thought, well then, I'm just gonna make it myself. Okay, let's go till the end of that row, and it ends with the app Stoic. And this one is one that I try to use regularly, but I sometimes keep forgetting. And it's more like a check-in with yourself kind of app. So you put in how you are feeling today in the morning, or in the evening it's more like how have you been feeling today. And then you kind of answer like small questions about your well-being, about your mental state. And by the end of that little check-in in the morning and in the evening, you can do maybe like a mini meditation, some journaling, stuff like that. So this is pretty nice. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I could be a little bit more disciplined with that, because every time I do use it for maybe a week or even longer, I notice how it's easier to check in with myself first thing in the morning mentally. By the end of that row, you can see another widget, and this is one of those swipeable ones, and you can see that I only have weather and Spotify in here. I try to keep it very clean, so I don't like it too crowded here. But these are definitely the ones that I use the most and I need in this kind of widget form, which is really helpful. You can see that I like to also listen to some relaxing music, which ties into my kind of bedtime routine. Or what I also really like is the podcast from Jay Shetty, On Purpose. If you are interested in these kind of spirituality podcasts and interviews with a lot of celebrities, then check this out. Maybe that's something for you as well. Alright, let's have a look at the second row, and I think this one should be very familiar. So yeah, definitely YouTube, that's for sure. Next in line, Netflix, also pretty obvious and for sure. Then comes Pinterest, which is kind of like my creative inspiration place. So whenever I'm looking for, well, basically anything, I search for inspiration on Pinterest, because I think on Pinterest it's less forced than on other social media platforms, where it's a lot of the times about ads and stuff. Well, yes, that has kind of taken over Pinterest as well, let's be honest, but it's still a good place for finding some inspiration from all over the world. Next up, already talked about it before, which is also down here as this huge widget, is Procreate, and I just love this app. I use this iPad a lot of the time for drawing, and this is also why this is one of my most used pencils ever. So yeah, I use this app quite a lot. I love it. And I have started to create some kind of artworks that I want to share with you very soon here. I hope you are interested in these kinds of things, but I thought maybe I can take you with me, drawing with me on my iPad one day. So, oh no, it's only 10%. Well, we have to hurry then. But yeah, I really love and enjoy drawing with this. As you can see, you can smudge it right here. Let's just smudge it. I have always loved art in one or the other way. When I was a little kid, a little girl, I used to draw all over my walls. My parents went crazy, but I really just loved it. Instead of having like video games or anything, I was always that kid drawing on stuff. So I kind of lost it for a while there, but with the help of the iPad, I got my drawing back, and I also enjoy it very much right now. I get so many ideas that I like to, just draw and enjoy my time with it. So this is also why, hopefully very soon, I will be able to take you with me on that journey. Okay, I just undid the whole smudging part. And this is it for Procreate. Next in line is the camera app, so nothing special here, and the picture app. It says photos because it's German, but that's the picture app. Next in line is a really cool app that I use for being productive, which is Planty. You can see it. So unfortunately, I got a little gift. Unfortunately, the app is not designed for the whole view on the iPad. I can flip it, but it's not designed for the wide view, but that's okay for me. And basically you can set your own timer up here for the length of how long you want to concentrate. And in that time, you cannot close this app. And this little tree here will grow during that time. and give you a little reward by the end of it. And when you have then collected quite a lot of coins up here, you can also go ahead and buy some other trees. I think that's so cool. I really want the cherry blossom one. This is 140 and I have 88, so not a lot to go anymore. Just a little bit more concentration. So for everyone who loses focus very easily, I can absolutely recommend that app. It's also available for your phone, and it's actually pretty nice if you don't want to just like grab your phone and go on Instagram, but rather stay focused on something. Next one is the Higher Self app from a spiritual coach and podcaster. I think I already showed this in the What's on My iPhone app video, sorry. And this app is kind of like contains meditation sessions, the podcast episodes, and so on. So yeah, I use that quite a lot as well. And down here I have quite a collection. Oh, sorry. And it's for all types of home apps that I'm using. So obviously the Apple Home app, but also Tado, which is a heater system that I'm using. The Ye Light app I have like a ceiling light that can be controlled by this. Then we have the Dyson app and Echovacs for vacuuming. And this one says Erinnerung, but it's, what is it called in English? Erinnerung. It's not memories. I don't think so. It's probably something like, I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure right now. But you probably recognize this iOS app. Alright, let's move over to page number 2, which is also the last page. And here I kind of like gather everything that I'm not using regularly, but yeah, every now and then, basically. So I have quite a collection of some games here. And if I would have to pick a favorite, I guess it would be the Lost City one. It's one of those games where you just slide through the landscape, and then you can do it's like a sandboard. It's not a skateboard, it's a sandboard. And then you can do tricks and stuff, and if you do the landing you get points. So kind of silly, but sometimes it really is good to get your mind off of things, and it has beautiful design and music. So I think from all of these, that one would be my favorite. Then of course some streaming apps as well, like Disney Plus and Prime, and also Audible. Then we have some food, like takeout app, shopping, and yeah, just a bunch of apps basically for all sorts of purposes. This one's pretty nice. It's like a coloring book. It's called Pigment. And then some kind of design apps like Photoshop, Lightroom, Adobe Sketch, Illustrator, and Google Drive for sending data from here to there, share with friends. And here, the huge widget for doing quick notes. Just in the Notes app from Apple. So, yeah, this is basically it. That is all I have on my iPad. And I would say everything on the first side is more like the stuff that I very, very regularly use. And the rest is more sometimes. So, I'm curious to know which of these apps you're using yourself. Which is one of the apps you have probably never heard of. Or which of these apps is the most interesting for you? So I hope you feel relaxed so far and that you enjoyed this little insight into the iPad that I'm using. And let me know if you want to join me for an iPad drawing session. I think I will record one of these soon, and I'd be happy to find out if this kind of content is something you enjoy. Otherwise, I hope that you feel relaxed